199th, and at that time I was a company commander. I was a captain, and they assigned me to a company, C company, and I started getting filled from people from overseas, and they were filling them by the military occupational specialty, MOS.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people had not been in that MOS for years.
Yeah.
I mean, guys had sergeants that had been at the country club or the Rod and Gun Club or the NCO club, and they were out of shape. Some of them were in the mess hall, and they had infantry specialties.
All right, would you 199th Infantry Division?
No, 109 Infantry, Light Infantry Brigade.
Brigade. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was supposed to be an air mobile unit. Okay.
Okay, you're hooked up with helicopters then.
Yeah, well, we didn't have any per se in the unit, but we had to take them from different aviation companies.
Okay, but they were flying Hueys, I assume.
Yeah.
And okay, so where were you stationed when you got over there?
Well, let me go through the process of getting there.
Okay.
As a company commander, I was trying to fill a unit to get ready to go to combat in less than 6 months.
Okay.
None of these. I had a tremendous training problem because I was getting people from all
that were
over,
not
trying to
squared away.
Well, for me, that was a challenge, and I accepted that challenge. But then the new promotion list came out, and I was on a promotion list to major. And the brigade commander said, "We got people on promotion list to major. We got people on promotion from major to lieutenant colonel. Let's take those people out of those jobs and put them in jobs if we can, based on their rank." So I was interviewed and for S3 job. So I was selected by Colonel Odom to be the S3 of the 2nd Infantry Battalion of the 3rd Infantry Division, 3rd Infantry. That's the Old Guard in Arlington, Virginia. So we were the first unit to go overseas and gain the campaign ribbon for the Old Guard.
The first unit to go overseas to?
From the 3rd Infantry.
Okay.
Okay, and win the first campaign ribbon that hangs on their flag, as a unit flag.
Okay, so where did you all end up? I mean,
well, we ended up again. I've got a challenge now. I've got the same thing, but now I got 4 companies that need to be trained with the same kind of people that we had in C Company before I transferred out.
Okay, you're a major at this point?
Well, I was on the major promotional list. I got promoted to major in Vietnam, but the challenge was we got people from all different parts of the world trying to get together, make it a unit that's combat ready.
Right.
And that was a heck of a challenge. And the lieutenant colonel came to me one night. I was in the office trying to figure out the training that we had to do. Benning was so tight with training space that we couldn't train units there. So they sent us to Camp Shelby, Mississippi for 6 weeks.
Okay.
I sat there and I was planning the 3 months that we had to do from basic unit training to advanced unit training to be able to deploy. And the colonel came by and he said, "Tom," he said, "you're the first guy that has worked for me that would plan a whole 3 months ahead." He said, "I'm really impressed." So we went to, that's my wife.
Hi there.
Don't forget your plans in the garage, honey, that you built.
I did.
Can she get out?
Yeah. Can you get out, Norm? Oh, she's getting a ride. Okay. You're going to edit this?
Okay.
So here we are. We move everybody to Camp Shelby, Mississippi. We do our training. We got limited amount of helicopter support because everybody is trying to. You don't have enough helicopters, really.
Yeah.
By that time, the 11th Airborne was training to be air mobile, and then eventually went to Vietnam. They were at Benning training to be an air mobile unit with a new concept. And so they were very tough to get the proper amount of training. And the pilots were flying and training as they would in the civilian world. They wouldn't come in and land right where we wanted them to, so we were hauling, I said, "This ain't gonna work. We gotta have them right there to get in and get out."
Yeah.
And then we were lucky we had one guy who had been to Vietnam with the Special Forces unit, and he helped in getting us some lessons learned. Plus, the Army was putting out lessons learned for Vietnam for training, which was very good, so we could incorporate that. After 9 weeks, went back to Vietnam. I got on a plane and was selected to go to the advance party for the 199th. Okay, believe it or not, 10 of us got on a plane with 45 loaded with ammunition and carried them on board the aircraft. I mean, think of that today, trying to do that. But that's, because they said when you land in Tan Son Nhut,
Okay.
you better be ready to fire. So we took
So
our
you
weapons.
flew out of, what, out of Shelby?
No, we went back to Fort Benning. We flew out
Okay,
of
so you flew out
Columbus,
of
Georgia.
Benning
We had
and-
to come back from Shelby,
Yeah.
pack up everything and
Yeah.
go. Okay,
And
the main
it-
body was gonna go by boat to.
This 67?
Yeah, probably 67, yeah.
Okay, so you flew into Tan Son Nhut, and what?
I was scared crap, let me tell you. I mean, they rushed us through the airport with MPs, put us on a bus with chicken wire over the windows, and raced through Saigon and out to the 1st Infantry Division, which was gonna house us until we can start joining another advance party. Okay, so
Okay.
I was lucky though. I had a buddy who was in Schaffenburg with me, not a buddy, but my boss,
Yeah.
and he was a lieutenant colonel in S4, and he found out I was over there, and he said, we'll get a helicopter and take you out to our forward camp, and you can see what the combat's like here. So I had a chance to do that, which was an orientation which I wouldn't have had if I had to do it
Right.
by myself. And we were told that you're going to marry up with the groups that are guarding the road from Vung Tau into Saigon and into Long Binh, which was going to be our base.
Long Binh was your base.
Yeah, it's east. I think it's east of Saigon, northeast of Saigon.
Yeah. L-O...
Longbin.
Two words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was assigned to be the liaison officer with the New Zealand Australians, which is kind of neat. I mean, they put me up in a tent, and
This is the 199th Brigade still?
I'm still in the unit.
Okay.
Okay,
and
the
you're
unit's still in
company
Benning.
commander type person, but you're the liaison.
I'm the liaison for the people that are going to be guarding that section of the road and there's going to be a number of different units guarding
Okay.
that road, because it's an ambush opportunity for the VC. So I learned how the British fight wars. I mean, they have their cocktail hour, they have their formal dinners at night, they have movies and stuff.
tea.
Yeah, and tea, that's right.
At 4 o'clock.
Absolutely. Yeah, the brigadier comes in and they have a little chinaware, and they're drinking and having their cookies and stuff like that. And I said, this is a different war than I thought it was going to be, but it changed very quickly after that.
Okay, so how long were you the liaison?
I was there for about a week and a half as we were landing at Vung Tau off of big ships and trucking up to Long Binh.
Okay.
We got to Long Binh, and we had to establish a perimeter and get ready to fight. Or it was kind of a 30-day indoctrination into the combat area.
Okay.
And it was helpful because every night we had a firefight and nobody was out there because people were a little bit gun shy.
Edgy and shooting at things.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard guys tell me that were in special forces that it was so pitiful what they were bringing over for American soldiers. He said, these guys would come over and they had no experience, and he said they'd get killed in the first week they were over there on the front lines, and he said the problem was they didn't get any training.
Mm-hmm.
He said they were bringing them over, and he said the reason we could exist over there was we got all kinds of training before we ever,
Oh yeah, well, special forces, all they did is
yeah,
train,
he said, it wasn't too hard to see what the problem was. The problem was they needed a lot more training than they got when they went over.
Well, we had, like I said, we had about 9 weeks to do that, and certainly that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But there's
Right.
a difference between training people like I did in Europe
Yeah,
and training people that said, the next place we're going, they're gonna be shooting at you, so you
Yeah.
better learn what you're doing. I mean, that is a big motivator. And
yeah, yeah.
plus, we still had to draft. And
Yeah.
we were getting people that were
They
very.
didn't wanna be there in the first place.
Well, they were intelligent though, they knew,
Yeah.
and so some of the more mature guys were wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
probably some of the best troops that.
All right, so what happened to you after your 9 weeks or so? Where'd you go?
Well, that's when I did the advanced party thing, after the 9 weeks at Shelby, okay?
Okay.
And then we were now in Long Bin, okay, so we got 30 days to kind of settle in and get
Yeah.
everything done. The ammunition that we're getting, the mortar ammunition was kind of, the extra powder that you put in to propel it further
Yeah.
was wet, and we had some short rounds and some difficulty. And we spent Christmas there in Long Bin. Then they moved us to Na Bay, NHABHE, I think it is.
Okay,
It's on the Saigon River.
okay,
The brigade had three battalions surrounding Saigon on the south. We
Okay.
were in Na Bay. Our headquarters was in the Shell Tank Farm. We had SO Tank Farm, we had Shell Tank Farm, and Texaco Tank Farm, okay?
it does not sound like a good place for, I mean, these
No,
guys
but
got mortars and everything.
Well, there's a story coming on that one.
Okay,
So we had dry land where we could put
Yeah.
enough tents up.
yeah,
We had tennis courts, and we had swimming pool and everything like that, and a nice little
nice,
building, you know.
okay,
So we started doing operations, and I had units, you know, spread out, 3 companies out there. And on the main road, that would be the landing strip for the company, so the helicopters would come in. People would be lined up on both sides of the road in the trenches. They'd load the aircraft and off they go. And this was a timing thing, I mean, because the
okay.
helicopters were
And
more.
you'd send them out to, in the bushes
Yeah, to
somewhere.
run an exercise. We called it like
Okay.
a little area of operations.
Yeah.
We divided our whole area into little groups. We numbered them. And what I do is flip a coin or a dice and random select that. If I go in the same day, I go in the same day if that's the random selection. I never tried to add some kind of procedure or protocol that would be telltale so that we'd be in an ambush. So we
Okay.
were very successful in moving around.
So what was your job? What were you?
I was the operations officer, S3. I was
Okay.
S3.
All right. Okay. Good.
And I
Wake
flew with the
All
company.
right. So you were moving people around in Hueys.
Well, we had base camps. They would
Right.
load up. They'd fly in the
Right.
operation. We'd be in the CNC command and control helicopter, and we'd be overseeing the operation. Airstrikes we call in,
All
artillery
right. So what was
strikes.
the VC and the NBA doing while you were doing?
Well, we thought we were chasing them and killing them.
Okay. So you were actually out there. This was not pretend. This was for real.
Yeah, but we were searching.
Search and destroy.
That's right, yeah. Okay, we didn't know, I mean, the intelligence, by the time you got it from Saigon wasn't, you couldn't use it, it was too late. But we would uncover enemy and we'd be fired at, and
What was your impression of the VC and the NBA as far as soldiers were concerned?
I thought they were good at disguise. I mean, they could hide in the rice paddies, and
Yeah.
you could walk right over them. And a lot of times, well, most of the time, all of our patrols had to use something like a big rod that would
Yeah.
come with ammo containers, and you would poke in there and then find something hard, and it could be a cache, it could be a guy inside there. And I thought we were pretty successful. We had gone for about 3 months without a casualty.
Without somebody getting killed?
Our guys, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you know, the body count was suspicious. I mean, everybody knows that that was.
I mean, our body count, the thing that they were doing was.
Killing as many as we did, okay?
Yeah.
But that's what the command wanted, and they got what they wanted.
Mr. Westmoreland.
Well,
I got it. Oh, there's a great picture of Westmoreland. Did you know, losing it. The guy that was the mayor in Punta Gorda that's a general.
Rufus?
Rufus, yeah, do you know Rufus?
No,
Oh, Rufus.
I met him one time.
Well, Rufus was quite a soldier. I, I, I was interviewing Shelton, the general that was lived over in on the mainland from Boca Raton. I can't think of the subdivision over there, but anyway, Shelton was over there, and he was in S3 or something, and for a regiment that got just chewed up by the NVA and VC, and the outfit was the guy running, the colonel that was running the operation was the son of the guy, the general that Bradley dismissed in World War II, and he was a cracker there. I want to say he ended up with the Timberwolf division anyway. After he got thrown out, Eisenhower sent him back, and he became the general in command of the Timberwolf division, and he was a 3-star general. And unfortunately, his kid wanted to emulate Daddy, and he really screwed up over there. They've been in Vietnam like about a week or 10 days or something like this, and he sent them out on a search and destroy mission. They're out there running around the bushes, and it was a replica of the thing about the soldiers that got caught in the movie they made of the ones that went into the bushes and got all shot up, and I guess they made it 10, 15 years ago, and that's exactly what happened to them. They ran into, I guess it was MVA, and the lieutenants commanding the companies or whatever come back and said, hey, we need to cool it because we don't know what we're running into here. And the colonel says, oh, hell no, we're just going to walk right over them. We got the firepower, we can do it. Mm-hmm. And he gets killed, and his main sergeant gets killed, and everybody below him gets killed, and all this kind of stuff. And anyway, Shelton was there, and he was out, and he got sent out there, and he got in all kinds of firefights. Got his elbow blown off and everything, and he got his elbow put back together again with a piece of sheep bone or something. He had a patch on it, and he's got this great, it was just absolute killer picture. He's showing Westmoreland, I guess it's a North Vietnamese flag. He's got this flag, he's holding his flag like this, and he's got, I think that's what he was doing. No, he wasn't holding a flag, he was talking, and he had a steel pot on. They're in the jungle someplace, okay? It looks like jungle. And he's got his steel pot on, and he's dirty and whatnot. He's a little guy anyway. And here's Westmoreland, and he looks like John Wayne. He's got his pants are creased, and his hair is slicked back. The only thing he doesn't have is pearl handle revolvers. And he's standing here, and there's 2 guys standing beside him. And I said to Rufus, I said, he said, he had his photographer when he got off the plane. He jumped off, and photographer starts shooting pictures of him. And he said, he gets his pictures, he gets back and flies off. But we used it. It's in, if you type in Rufus Lozelle in the search window, and